What's good, everybody? This is the one and only GM, and today I'm gonna talk about, is it worth it being a pro FGC player? If it's worth your time. The other video I made was well received. There was a lot of jokers in the comments. A lot of you guys are like crayon eaters. I can't even front. Yeah, I don't know when something is serious, and y'all joke around too much. But I'm gonna make this for the level-headed people that don't have TikTok brain rot in their brain, that can handle serious discussions about things like this that need to be talked about, just in general, by the whole community and everybody that's been involved. When it comes to gaming and just gaming in general. So I'm gonna explain to you guys a lot of things about tournaments that you guys probably do not know. When it comes to tournaments, obviously you have to pay your own way there. When I started, my first tournaments was a Battlefield Arcadia, which was a Nintendo, big tournament of Nintendo, a bunch of different Nintendo games hosted by Empire Arcadia. If I remember correctly, it was a very, very small venue fee, very cheap, like $5 or $10 or something like that. And yeah, I got to compete. It was a lot of fun. I ended up getting top 2 at the Nintendo Nationals, and I won a GameCube when the system first released. I won a brand new GameCube when the system first released. So that's one of my proudest achievements, and that's what I was when I was discovered, as somebody that was talented at games. Empire Arcade, Triforce, and them, they discovered me, and it was like, yo, you have a lot of talent, and they kept in touch with me after that. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I was like, yo, this tournament stuff is cool. That was my first glimpse of tournaments, was at Nintendo National, where I got top 2, and I ended up getting a GameCube. There's a picture online of me holding a big Nintendo sign with the whole Nintendo Street team. That was one of the fondest memories I've had about competing. Also, there was arcade tournaments too, Chinatown Fair. Chinatown Fair was cool. The monthlies were every month, $10 to enter. And all you needed to do was obviously put tokens in the arcade, because that's how arcades, they make money. You spend dollars, and you put the tokens in the machine to play the game. So that's all you needed to do, and it was cheap. 50 cents. Some games were a quarter. So you wasn't really spending that much. You get what I'm saying? So not only was you putting money to the pot, the $10, plus you was supporting the arcade by putting coins. It's not like now that you have to pay like a $20, $15. Well, it's way more than that. You got to pay a big venue fee, and then you got to register for the tournament. You end up spending $100 just to enter a tournament. Back then, it was just $10, no matter where you went. Even if I traveled to Virginia, it was just like I paid $10 to enter. You know what I'm saying? And then the venue fee like $5, so maybe 15 in general, maybe 20. So in general, you wasn't spending a lot. You know what I'm saying? But now you have to spend like $100 just to enter. And, it's crazy. So it's obviously somebody's making money off of all of this. But arcades were cool because you were supporting the arcade. Plus, the arcade was the best place to find players. It wasn't like now that everybody just plays online. Everybody's antisocial. You can't tell if somebody's a real person or they fake or if they cheating or not. In line, in person, real people, real conversations, real competition. There's no fakes, there's no phonies. Everybody was legit. We all played the game that we loved together. And yeah, man, that's how we made friends. Nowadays, it's just really cliquey. Not a lot of people really are open to play anybody. You have to be in their friend circle. In the arcade, everybody played against each other because you was kind of forced to play each other. There was only 2 arcade machines, so everybody played with each other, and we all became friends like that, playing with each other in the arcade scene. And that's how I leveled up. Doing Tekken 5, I literally did not have a PS3. So all my practice was literally just going to Chinatown Fair and practicing the game, because I didn't have the game at all. I still won tournaments too, just practicing at the arcade, but I did not have the game. So I used to just go with $2, $1 or $2, go to the arcade and practice. And I used to get big win streaks, and the $2 used to last me like the whole day, and then I go home. It was a lot of fun. Those days for tournaments was excellent. Later on for like Tekken 6 and even 5, they had the Big E tournaments. Those were cool. But the issue with those tournaments is obviously they weren't run too well. And the payouts were never good. For the Big E tournaments, they used to do free to enter tournaments, but with a $500 pot. And the top 8 got paid. So in general, you wasn't winning a lot. You was winning like $200, maybe $300, maybe. But free to enter tournaments weren't the wave, because you have to travel all the way to Philly, and then you have to book a hotel to stay there. Luckily, I knew people. Sometimes I stayed with them, and sometimes I would just drive back and forth or whatever. But I usually stayed in people's rooms for the Philly tournaments. But it's rough, though, if you paying for everything by yourself. It's not worth the money. It's literally just like a passion project. But luckily, around that time, I had some people to look out for me, be like, hey, you could stay here or whatever. Some people were helpful in the FGC, the majority are not. If you go to these events, obviously, and if you're a top player and they know you could win, they obviously will want you to room with them, so you could pay them extra for the room that you're staying in, so they could profit more than what they spent, so they're making something out of you. So that's another thing that's kind of corny about the FGC. A lot of people are not there generally to help you. They're just there to make something out of you. I'll give you an example. I was sponsored by Evil Geniuses, right? And I went to Evo 2010. Obviously, Vegas hotels are extremely expensive, right? I let everybody that I knew stay for free in my hotel room, and I did not charge them a dime. So you know what that says? That says if I have something, I'll give it to everybody for free, because those tournaments are too expensive. We give too much as pro players, or just players in general, to be spending that much money just to compete in a tournament. So me, I would never take money from somebody. I'll be like, yo, you competing here with me, stay here for free. But a lot of people are looking for this. That's all they want, is this. And when it comes to tournaments too, man, like I traveled all over from Tekken 6 to Tag 2. Tekken 7, I went to a couple of tournaments. Tekken 5, I even went to Miami, Tennessee. I traveled a lot for Tekken 5. All over the South, all over the East Coast for Tekken 5, and I won many tournaments in Tekken 5. The only difference back then is that the venues and stuff weren't too expensive, and I could just take buses everywhere to save a lot of money. Nowadays, you can't really do that. Plus, people were a lot nicer back then. The community was just nicer in general. Like in general, you didn't really need to get hotels, because you could just be friends with somebody from a state, and they'll just house you. Yeah, like you could stay in my crib, no doubt, and you good to go. But now people are not too friendly. You can't really do that now, unless you in somebody's clique, but they won't really let you stay at their house or nothing like that. Even when I went to Canada, they housed me and stuff, and I didn't need to pay for nothing. So stuff like that is cool. And when they invited me to Europe too. But if you just paying everything out of pocket, you're going to end up losing a lot of money. Another thing with FGC tournaments is that you guys have to understand, you guys are the performers. You guys are the athletes. And what I mean by that is a tournament would not exist without the players. These tournaments care more about pro players. One of the reasons, a pro player could show up extremely late, and the tournament organizer will literally withhold him getting disqualified just so the pro player can play in the tournament. If you're just some average Joe, you'll get DQ'd fast as hell. If you're a pro player, they're going to let it rock. You know why they're going to let it rock? Because the pro player is going to put more eyes into the tournament, and the pro player is going to make the tournament much more exciting. Meaning the people that's hosting the tournament and the people that's streaming the tournament is going to get more money by the views and just everybody watching, because that pro player is. What does the pro player get out of it? Absolutely nothing. You're not getting a check. You're not getting cut a check for hyping up the event. You're not getting paid to be at the event. You literally just have to place and then hope that your performance at this tournament markets you enough that you could stream and make YouTube videos out of it or get more of a following. So that's all hope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give you an example for Evo. Majin got top 3 at Evo, right? He only won like 1,000 something, and he spent like 8,000 to get there. Luckily for him, it worked out because he has charisma, he has personality, he was able to do that. But nobody else has been able to do that since him. You know what I'm saying? That's a rare occurrence for somebody to do that. So you can see, as you can see, the gratuity and the monetization you make from these tournaments is literally stuff outside of the tournament. It has nothing to do with the tournament itself, like you getting paid there or nothing like that. It's just kind of like you take the chance and then you hope people start liking you or you become popular. You know what I'm saying? It's not like when an actor makes a movie. When an actor makes a movie, they get guaranteed contracts. So they get guaranteed money, and then if the movie performs well, they make even more money. The FGC does not work like that. These tournaments are making a lot of money off of players. The person that's streaming the tournament is making so much money. I'll give you another example. Arturo streamed Defend the North, right? He was streaming the tournament. He wasn't a player at the tournament. He streamed Defend the North. Arturo made over 10K running ads at Defend the North. That's just ads. That's not counting subs or nothing. That's way more than any competitor won that weekend in any of the tournament games, and he was just streaming the event. So you see what I'm saying? Tournament players are not really eating. The guys commentate, they eat, and they get guaranteed salaries when they commentate, which is why everybody wants to be a commentator. You know why? It's easy to talk about games you know about. It's easy money. You don't need to compete. A lot of times, too, these guys get paid, hotels, everything, flights, everything. So they 100% established. You a player, you got to pay for your own hotel room. You got to pay for your own flight. You got to pay for your own food. It doesn't matter if you're a pro player, and it doesn't matter if you're a top player or not. And it doesn't matter how many tournaments you won. Organizers don't care how many tournaments you won. They're going to treat you just like they treat anybody else. Unless you can make the event more hype, and they'll postpone you from getting, disqualified for whatever reason. So that's one of the things that people have to understand. And also the whole thing about, if you become sponsored, you're set for life, you're not set for life. Because a lot of these sponsors, they take a lot of percentage of your win. There's some sponsors that take 60% of what you win, 40%, 50%. And that's horrible, because in the FGC, you're not winning that much big bread anyway. So they take half your winnings, and plus you got to obey all their rules and act like the way they want you to act. And a lot of times, these sponsors do not market players. They don't tell you, they don't give you chances, better sponsorships for your stream, interviews abroad your thing. They just send you to tournaments and just like, here, do it yourself. Every sponsor I've ever been in has never helped me market myself. Everything that I learned about marketing myself, streaming and making content, I learned through asking other people that do it too. Sponsors do not teach you how to make money in the FGC or make money as a player. They just send you to tournaments, and that's about it. And then you just gotta obey their rules. And if they take a percentage, they taking a percentage, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's really rough being a pro player in the FGC. I made a decent amount of money being a pro, but nothing crazy enough to make me want to do this forever. Because it was a time I wanted to do this forever, but it wasn't sustainable. It was too much of me spending, not winning enough, and just me trying to get clout when there was really no clout to be had. People don't really care about tournament players like that. The casuals do not really care like that. So, I was winning a lot of tournaments, but it didn't really build. I didn't really get the monetization I felt like I deserved, or the recognition I deserved. I only started getting recognition, sadly, when I started streaming and making videos. That's when my follower base grew up. That's when people started, liking me more. When I was competing, it was just a lot of hate. There was a lot of people mad that I was just going to tournaments and just kind of just like getting the money from tournaments, just winning and stuff. A lot of people were upset. They was like, oh, he just goes to tournaments and beats everybody and takes all the money. I hate him. And then even my locals, I was winning locals all the time. A lot of dudes were hating because they knew that I just went to the locals just to get, pocket change for the month. You can't blame me, though. The FGC is not there to love you. It's not. So I was just doing it because I won so much that the only thing I could win for is literally just to put some pocket change. It wasn't really about clout or nothing like that. I won too much. So there was no real clout to be there. It's just free money. So that's what I took locals at, was free money after a while. Because a lot of these locals now, it's kind of just like, here's a membership, pay for this and that. It's not really community driven like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was tight-knit. We had a lot of East Coast representation. We had Spooky streaming. We had Arturo streaming. We had the B-Food Tech. There was a lot of people streaming and trying to put East Coast players on. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough to put the East Coast players on. And the people streaming at the end of the day were making way more money than any FGC player was. So that's another thing too. And another thing, a lot of people go to these tournaments and they hope to get a big sponsor. The only sponsor you're gonna get is one that gives you a t-shirt and a handshake. And if you do get like a big sponsor, it's because you friends with one of the esports players. Because that's how I got sponsored. I knew Justin Wong and all of them, and Martin and all of them. They put me on EG just because I knew them. With F3, I knew Alucard and a bunch of other people, and they put me on that too. So it's all about who you know. So it's like it's either that, or you just gonna get some sponsor that's gonna take 70% of what you win. It's not worth it. So what I'm trying to say is, if y'all want to make it in this, just make content, stream, and if you want to go to tournaments, don't get me wrong, tournaments is an easy way. Not an easy way, it's hard, but it's easier just to make videos and stuff. But tournaments is like an easier way for you to just get known without having to blow up in videos and streaming and stuff like that. So if you could get known quick, it's not gonna be enough for people to like you or people to watch your content. There's a lot of pro players that barely get any subs or barely get any views, and they go to every single event and nobody be watching them, and they just do online tournaments all day. And then I ask people, yo, why you don't watch these guys? You guys always ask about tournaments, and they say, oh, these guys are boring and this and that. So that's one thing. Another thing, tournaments do not teach you personality. They do not teach you how to talk, and they don't teach you how to market yourself. I wish the FGC would literally just tell people, put a disclaimer. Like, these tournaments are only for enjoyment and for experience. If you think you're going to be rich or you think you're going to get paid a lot of money for winning these, you're not. So I wish they had a disclaimer telling you that this is just used to get you more popular and stuff like that, rather than give you hopes and dreams. I know Saudi, they put big money on the line, but the only people seeing that money is people that sponsored, that have enough money to be able to travel all over the world just so get points to qualify. The average Joe, you would have to spend maybe 20 or 30K to try to qualify for these tournaments with no help or nothing. So it's rough, man. And if you a content creator and a streamer, you're not gonna want to go to these events. And the reason why is because these events cost mad money, and you're already grinding so much just streaming and making content. You think your revenue every month, you want to use it just to go to an event that's gonna cost you how much you make for the whole month? I don't think so. I really don't think so. That you gonna do that. So basically what I'm trying to say is too, I enjoy playing Tekken. I still like playing Tekken at a high level, but I'm retired. I learned my lesson. You know what I'm saying? Everything I ever wanted in the FGC after became a top player was recognition and respect. And I'm getting that with streaming and content creation. So I have no reason to compete. Because when I competed, I didn't get any of that. I felt like I got belittled, and people didn't give me the recognition that I wanted, and I wasn't making the money I wanted. But now that I'm streaming and making content, I'm getting everything that I need for myself. You know what I'm saying? As you can see in the back, you see all those trophies. That's all achievements in the FGC. A lot. You see all of that? Even the world record over there? So you know I've got it in, and I'm satisfied. Like, I'm good. So I just want to make this video again to talk to you guys about everything, you know, players go to, and tell you that it's not all, you know, apples and oranges out there. It's a lot of rough stuff for players, man. You guys just need to stay up, man. Like I said, man, if y'all want to just experience the thing, these events, you can go. But I always feel like you could just go to Disney World or Universal or someplace more fun to experience, to have a real experience, rather than just spend like 3K, go to a tournament, get bodied, and then go home. Like, that's not much of an experience. You just literally wasted your money. Because I've been to a lot of tournaments, and I'm going to be real with you, all of them are the same thing. There's nothing different between tournaments. It's you waiting for a bracket that's probably going to take mad long, and you just sitting there the whole day waiting for your matches. And if you lose, you lose. And if you win, good stuff. But you're not going to get your money on time. You're going to have to sign some kind of contract, and then you're probably going to get paid in like 4 or 5 months. So even if you was a full-time gamer, you wouldn't be able to can't live off that. You got to wait like 4 or 5 months to get your money. Before, they just gave you an envelope with your money, and they gave it to you, and then you go home. So it was lit back then, but it's not like that no more. But yeah, that's it for this video. If y'all like these type of videos, these talking videos, I'm going to make these more. And yeah, man, thanks everybody for watching. And FightingGM_Tekken is the Twitch. And yeah, please like and subscribe and tell me what other topics you guys want me to talk about. All right. So on that note, peace out and take care. Laters.